Hello and welcome to our last episode of Winter Olympic coverage.
We have so much exciting news from all the sports that happened over the weekend.
And we also have Eric Taverna, James Conley, and Phil Enright reporting more news.
Stay tuned for this packed show of the FPTV's 2010 Winter Olympic Games. Hello, and Mike, this is our last episode here of the Olympic coverage, and we have so much to get to. It was the last weekend of activities with all the medal counts now decided.
It was. I thought it was one of the best days of Olympic coverage.
An
so
intense
I'll say
couple
we get
days.
right into it.
Okay, let's get started with the women's curling, which the gold medal was decided in an exciting game Friday night. The match between Sweden and the host team Canada came down to the final shot in an extra end. Swedish skip Annette Norberg had set up a shot right on the button, but Canada's Cheryl Bernard had the hammer. Bernard said it will be a shot she'll never forget as her rock fell short, giving the Swedish back-to-back Olympic gold medals. Norberg led her team to a victory in 2006 in Torino and now in front of a silent Vancouver crowd. The Chinese women, who made their curling debut this year, came away with silver after beating the Switzerland team 12-6 in a shortened game. The world champion Chinese were heavily criticized by their coach throughout these Olympics, but fought back from their loss against Sweden to claim their country's first curling medal. And in men's curling, the bronze medal game came down to the last rock. Sweden was leading 4-3 when an error by skip Nicholas Eden set up an open shot for the Switzerland team. This resulted in 2 points for the Swiss, giving them the bronze medal in a close 5-4 victory. For the gold medal, the Canadian men faced off against the Norwegian team. The Canadians, led by Kevin Martin, were the first to go undefeated throughout the tournament, culminating with a 6-3 victory to capture the gold. The Canadians did win the gold in Torino, but the team was not led by Martin. Martin said, quote, "We need more Olympic Games in our country, don't we?" citing the crowd as a major factor in their success. So curling is the #2 sport in Canada, and it's clear that the men plays gold and the women plays silver, and the crowd definitely in that side of that stadium had a factor to do with that.
I think so too. It's really unfortunate that we don't get to watch more curling until the next 4 years.
It is.
I can't think of any.
We'll have to move to Canada
That's a good idea.
And Mike, in other exciting sports news, you have speed skating, I believe?
There's a lot of coverage actually this weekend.
Okay.
Speed skating wrapped up with Team Canada taking the men's team pursuit gold medal over Team USA by only 1/4 of a second. In third place came the Netherlands with the Olympic record time. In women's team pursuit, Stephanie Beckert and Germany took the gold in a close race over Japan. In third place was Poland, who won by 2 seconds over the fourth place U.S. team. Moving now to the short track, where we saw a nail-biting finish in the men's 500 meter. This is an event that Apollo Anton Ono dominated in the 2006 Torino Olympics. He was not lucky enough this time after he was disqualified for causing 2 other speed skaters to crash in the final turn. Charles Hamelin of Canada got the gold, and the silver went to Si Bok Sung, who was one of the skaters who crashed. The other was Francis Louis Tremblay of Canada, who won the bronze. On the ladies' side, Meng Wang has won the gold medal in the 1,000-meter ladies event. In second place was the USA's Catherine Rudder, and in bronze went to Sung Hee Park of Korea. The final short track event was the men's 5,000-meter relay, where Team Canada took home the gold medal in a very close race. Separated by half a second were Korea and the United States. And Nick, this definitely was the closest race in short track. It came all the teams down to half a second.
So that's very close. And again, throughout this coverage, we've been talking about Apollo Ono and his controversial actions on the ice. And as you just told us, it didn't pay off this time because he was disqualified.
Yeah, I figured it was going to catch up to him eventually, but he was able to get his 8th medal in the team pursuit when he got bronze.
He did set that record. So now let's go to men's hockey, and the final game was United States faced rival Canada for the gold medal. In a game that had 2 countries on the edge of their seat, tensions grew as the game was forced into overtime. With the United States down 2-1 in the third period, Zach Parise tied the game with 24.4 seconds left. In a thrilling overtime, Canadian Sidney Crosby became the hero of his country when he scored 7 minutes and 40 seconds into overtime. This win secured Canada the most gold medals in a single Winter Olympics ever. The disappointed and previously undefeated United States team stood on the ice as O-Canada played after the first overtime for a gold medal since the NHL players were introduced into the Olympics. So another kind of disappointing game, but it was a good game.
I don't think it was that disappointing,
No.
because when I was watching in overtime, I didn't really care who won at that point. I thought it was such a great game. You don't see a lot of teams score with only 30 seconds left or less to tie the game.
And it was a tough loss for United States because they were undefeated in the entire tournament, and they weren't favored early on.
I feel bad for Miller, because even the Canadians were cheering for him after they announced the silver medal to him, because he worked so hard, was probably going to win the tournament player of the Olympics for hockey. So, very sad.
Now let's go to Eric, who has biathlon and bobsled news.